Okay, kids, let's go.
There has been an awakening.
Yes, an awakening.
God, have you felt it?
Yes.
Hello, what have we here?
Hello.
So funny.
Hello.
Holy shit. Thanks C3 penis face and R2 dickhead.
Give me a good freeze frame for the screenshot, too.
Found someone you have, I would say.
Is that what you
May
wanted?
the force be with us. Fucking A.
Good day, Galaxy. Folks watching back at it again. I am Mopar.
I am Commander. We're here. 275? 275.
275?
Can you think back once upon a time when I used to do the intros? What kind of a world were we living in?
Dark times.
It's no surprise I took those episodes off the podcast feed.
Before the Empire.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, welcome. If it's your first time or your 60th time, we appreciate all of them.
Or your 260th time.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for being here. Longtime fans of the show will be expecting us to talk about KOTOR. We obviously have some exciting news about that. Hence our wallpapers if you're watching the live stream. And if you're not watching the live stream, tune in every Sunday except this week. We're doing it on Monday. YouTube.
Yes.
Check it out. Make it happen.
Yeah, I pretty hyped. Pretty hyped about this. I'm glad.
I have thoughts.
You know, yeah, exactly. I'm glad that with all the cease and desists and all that shit, you know, in the past 5-ish years, that it's at least culminating to something, rather than, you know, all that work going to nothing and we still don't get anything.
Yeah, for sure. Are we diving into this right now?
No.
Okay.
Welcome to the show. Then if that's how it goes.
Well, we haven't done a weather report in a while.
It was beautiful this past weekend. It was like prime time.
Yes.
That's one big reason why I live in Ohio.
Yeah, this is my favorite time of year. Well, we're about to be my favorite time of year, but it's close. I feel it coming along. It's like 55 at night and like 75 during the day. It's like, it's
Perfect.
glorious. It's perfection.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was good. How was your Browns game? You watched the Browns football, foosball?
Yeah, unfortunate ending, but we looked great. We really looked great. So
You guys
that's where
got
I'll
any
leave
uniforms or something?
it. Brighter orange,
Good haircuts.
construction cone orange code.
That's right on theme with Ohio, though.
Yeah, it's true, especially Cleveland. Yeah.
I never thought about that. Their helmet does look like a sideways traffic cone, doesn't it? Orange Barrel Construction Zone.
Yep. That's what it should be. The Cleveland Barrelers. There's just a bunch of barrels.
I don't know if you really watch baseball at all, but they renamed the tribe a couple months ago. Any thoughts on that?
I don't really give a shit. To be completely honest, I don't care. I really don't care. You know, obviously we grew up with the Indians and they were great in the 90s, and it was a historic time. We just never could get it done in the 90s, and then I gave up on them, and I don't really watch baseball because of that. We lived, no joke, in the 90s, like 95, 97-ish.
Yeah.
We had probably one of the greatest teams of all time.
Yep.
Of all fucking time, and we still couldn't get it done. So
It sounds a lot like the Cavs, but then they actually did end up getting it
they
done.
did it. That's why LeBron is greatness. I mean, outside of Cleveland, you may not think that, but you know,
Pure greatness.
he's the only thing that whole, pretty much the whole state can point to and say, look, we were on top once. So
Yep.
So
A couple presidents and LeBron James. That's what we got going for
Well,
us
and
somehow.
Ohio State, they're winners down there. Which, by the way, they lost this weekend.
Wasn't it open weekend too?
Yeah. No. What am I thinking?
I think it was the brand. It was the
first home game.
yeah, whatever. Season opening,
I don't know.
stadium opening, football opening, college opening. I don't know.
But yeah, it was our second game, but we lost it. But whatever. It is what it is. I expect Ohio State to win, and when they don't, it is surprising. But
Right.
we have a rough year ahead of us, and I know that. So I wasn't surprised, but it is still like, God damn it.
Is it the opposite of Cleveland, where you expect them to lose, and then when they do, it's very
Exactly. No, it is. They're very, very different teams because Ohio State, even when they're bad, they're like top 5 teams in the whole fucking sport.
Right.
When the Browns are good, they're doubted through every fucking game, through every minute, because they'll figure a way out to screw themselves, which,
always.
to be honest, the entire team did great. One or two small fuck-ups, and it ruined the whole game when we lost. The good thing is we barely lost to, the team that was in the Super Bowl. So there is still some light. But
good.
I digress. It'll be Star Wars news from here on out. Don't talk about anything else. They're tired of this shit. So am I.
Sorry.
I'm about to turn this up. I'm turning you down. Muted
Sorry,
forever.
Man, sorry. I didn't mean to. Don't hurt me. Witch Hunt. Jared, welcome to the chat. Please chime in. Tell us what the fuck you want to hear. I know on the short list is KOTOR, the Matrix trailer, Matrix 4.
Oh, I didn't watch that. Interesting.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
They didn't reveal much. At least I'm not a... Go ahead.
Let me say something about the Matrix. And this might rub people the wrong way, but I really don't mean it in...
Only Kerner will be
a
offended.
very negative way.
Please continue.
I truly believe the Matrix would be bananas more popular and more of a staple if the score was phenomenal. I think the score is one big thing that's lacking in the Matrix. And I'm not saying it's bad, but I feel like that's one of those movies that if the score was like groundbreaking, well, it's hard to say. You could say that about any fucking movie, I guess, but I feel I feel like the Matrix is like set up to be one of those groundbreaking score movies. Maybe you can prove me wrong, but as I watched through
I don't remember
movie,
who did the score. I'm gonna look really quick.
As I watched through that movie, I've only seen it maybe twice, and I remember 0% of the score.
That's probably part of the problem. If I don't know who did the score for a movie and it's a renowned movie, I feel like I was way more into it back in the day, but I usually have a good sense of like who the composer was.
Sure.
Don Davis. And what else has he done? It looks like a hamster penis.
Wait a second. Okay. I've got it in my head.
Quote from Parks and Rec, but also extremely accurate. He looks like Mr. Hamster Penis. Yeah, I can see what you mean. I feel like this one had a lot of, unlike Star Wars where it's pure score, this one had an original score and songs put into it, I think.
Oh, really?
I believe,
a mixture. Okay.
I believe so, because I remember I was listening to Revenge of the 90s. Revenge of the 90s.
You're just pointing at Carth's face or whoever the fuck.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I forgot
it
to has a virtual background on. If you're watching this on IGTV or whatever.
It's just under his left nostril.
They were talking about, like, Rage Against the Machine was in it. And Steve was like, that's when I first heard Rage Against the Machine, and I became obsessed. And I was like, oh, yeah, I feel like they did sneak some actual
Rage
tracks
was in The Matrix, you're saying?
I think so.
I like that now. Matrix is actually not a bad movie.
Or perhaps it was back, you know how back in the day they used to do like a soundtrack and the score, and it was like songs inspired by?
You know what I'm thinking it might be? Is like the Matrix trailer had a soundtrack.
That might be it.
But the actual movie didn't. Because they do that often. Well, at least it was big in the 90s, where you just hear a random fucking, yeah, like you said, Pearl Jam song over a movie trailer, and then the Pearl Jam's not in the movie at all, and you're like, well, okay.
Let's explore this for a second, because I'm having different memories and they're conflicting just a little bit. So here's the Wikipedia for the Matrix soundtrack, and it says The Matrix, music from the motion picture, and the track listing includes Marilyn Manson, Propeller Heads, some people that I don't know, The Prodigy, Rob Zombie, Deftones, Monster Magnet, Rammstein, and Rage Against the Machine.
Interesting.
Now, I don't know if all 13 of these songs are in the film, but no, yeah, right here. Track order by movie appearance. Dracula.
Look
when
below
Neo
that. It says,
meets Trinity at the nightclub. Yeah.
It says music from the film does not appear on the sound. Okay, never mind. I take it back.
Interesting.
Yeah, so maybe
that's
why it is. If they were using just normal songs, maybe that's what rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know.
And then Wake Up is the credits song. Got it. Okay. This makes a little more validity to it, I think.
That is a very 90s thing to do. I'm picturing like the Godzilla from Matthew Broderick Godzilla? Because didn't
Yes.
they had random songs in there, and then like you get to the end credits, and all of a sudden there's like a Led Zeppelin song. You're like, what happened?
Yes. And the one that I had on CD that I listened to all the time was Spider-Man 2 soundtrack. And none of this was in the film, I don't think. I'm pretty sure none of it was in the film because it was just a score because it's a superhero movie. But Dashboard Confessional, Train, Hoobastank, Yellow Card, Maroon 5, like I had this album.
That's hilarious. Yeah, because I had the Godzilla soundtrack, and I think the Small Soldiers, which is a weird one to have.
No, but that kid's favorite band was Led Zeppelin.
I know, and Led Zeppelin was on that. I remember that. That's why they're like, I don't. It's funny, but you don't criticize me too much because I think it was actually pretty decent.
Hell no, I'm laughing because I agree with you.
Good God, y'all.
Yeah, and a Bone Thugs and Harmony remix of War
Man,
with
I feel-
Henry Rollins, Tom Morello, and Flea. What? I have to hear this song,
That's a gregarious bunch.
dude. That is a incredible collection of musicians.
Tom Sawyer's on there. Oh, I remember Cheap Tricks Surrender. I do remember that.
Damn.
There's some good stuff. Love is a battlefield. Yeah, I for sure had this because I would listen to Tom Sawyer and War at the end over and over.
All right, you know what I got to do? Pull it up on Spotify and add this
Purchase
to my
the
playlist
CD from
because I don't
FYE.
even. You know, it'd be nice to have a CD as like a memento, but I have no way to play it. I couldn't listen to it. I literally don't have anything. I guess I could put it in my Xbox.
Your truck doesn't have a CD player? That's
Oh,
literally.
it probably does.
That's like the only place to play a CD.
I guess I didn't think about it because I've never bothered to try, but yeah, it probably does. What did I just say? Small Soldiers. Yeah, I gotta add this shit to my recently played so I can listen to it. Cool. That was a fun trip down memory lane.
Yeah. All that to say, I think The Matrix could be better. It stands alone as a great 90s movie.
Yeah.
Partly because it's late 90s and it looks great.
Mm-hmm.
But, you start looking at those 90s movies and I really think if it had a better soundtrack and or score, it would stand apart. It would stand apart even more so, I guess.
Yes. Yeah, because it's not. I mean, I remember the track that's playing in the underscore when Morpheus is explaining the Matrix and like girl in the red dress walks by. I remember how that sounds like, but it's not like there's a memorable like theme. You know what I mean? There's like a Matrix theme, at least not that I can recall.
Like just picture The Dark Knight without the score.
Oh yeah, it's nothing.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but it would feel like just picture like if there was Eminem in there and like just random
So you mean Suicide Squad?
Nickelback. I don't know. Throw them in there. But I really think I don't know. I just we harp on scores a lot, and I really I still stand by. I think it's really really important, and it can ruin or hold a movie together. So
I agree. Witch Hunter says I've never seen any Matrix movies.
yeah,
I'm surprised by that. Witch Hunter.
Yeah.
Fucko. And then Riley says you better watch the movies now.
Do it. Turn this shit off.
I would be curious, is very much like I am with Star Wars, if you were to watch all three of the Matrix movies right now, back to back, with no breaks, what you would think of the sequel and the third one, because I feel like the Matrix, the second and the third Matrix, very much like the Star Wars prequels, get that same kind of hate. It's like, oh, well, you can never top the first one. It was so groundbreaking. These movies suck. I love the Matrix, but you can't watch 2 and 3 because they're horrible. I hear that all the time.
Well, under that assumption, episode 5 and episode 6 should be trash as well, because it comes after episode 4.
Well, I didn't mean it like that. I meant.
Well, that's exactly what you meant, because there's 3 movies.
I meant the original. I think back in the day that did
I know,
happen.
they did. I've read many disgusted reviews of episode 5. How
who was this fucking puppet in the swamp?
What the hell, Green?
I was more. What the hell, Green? I was more referring to like the original trilogy as a thing, and then the prequels coming after it. Everybody shit on them forever. But yeah, fucko. Why don't you go and watch the Matrix films and let us know what you think?
Yar.
So the Matrix trailer. The
Was it
KOTOR
good?
teaser.
Did you watch it?
I did watch it.
That's good.
Hawkeye trailer as well.
I didn't watch that either. You know,
And-
all I fucking did, I watched a few movies
Okay.
in the past week. I got to the point where I was annoying myself rewatching the same old shit. I got to the point where I just felt like, you know what? I need something new because I'm in this like loop of just watching dog shit. Even if I still enjoyed it, I'm just like, I need something fresh.
Apparently, I haven't gotten to that point yet.
It's been Jersey Shore on loop and a bunch of I don't know. I don't even know. The bad thing is I'll throw on a movie I like and then not watch it. So it's like, what am I even? I'll play on my phone or just not pay attention or whatever. It's like, what's the point?
I threw on Iron Man 2 while I reorganized my bookshelf the other day, which was
Did you pay
fun. I was
attention?
just kind of,
No.
You're in and out. I try to make it so the movies that I'm rewatching for like the 50th time, it's just like in the background while I do something else.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, I rolled a dice with, which I've been meaning to, watch The Social Network.
Oh, nice. You
I
never
hadn't
seen it?
No, I hadn't seen that. It was very, very good.
Yeah.
Very well written, and I liked the flow, because it could have been just a very dry film, but they broke it up very well just to make it, it's a less linear story, and they kind of jump around a little bit, but it makes it a little more exciting. So,
Spider-Man and Lex Luthor.
yes, and
Yeah, go ahead.
JT, isn't it? Cry me a
Oh, yeah.
goddamn motherfucking river.
He's the Napster guy. Yeah, I forgot about that.
So, and then I rolled the
On
dice.
that one,
Oh, go
quickly
ahead.
though, what did you? Speaking of soundtracks, what do you think of the soundtrack for that movie?
Didn't pay attention at all.
Really? I love
I
that
don't-
one.
Not a single memory of the Social Network's soundtrack.
Really? Didn't it set like the tone? It's like this eerie, like kind of unsettling vibe the whole time.
Maybe I just wasn't paying attention to that because obviously the first watch through, I'm like focused on the plot and the characters. So maybe the next time I can kind of focus on other stuff. But I was getting like darker vibes, and maybe it was coming from the score of the soundtrack. But I
Yeah.
was watching like there was a lot of filmmaking stuff in there, which sounds funny, but it's a very like, this is what happens to goddamn. But I'm gonna make it
like
look
montages or something.
no. I just mean it had a very dark undertone for just like a biography, basically. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it wasn't a biography. It was a. What do they call those? There's a term. Biopic. Yes. Biography picture, but it's not like a biography in the sense that it's like a documentary. You know what I mean?
Sure.
They took creative liberal instances.
One of these days you'll get something out. But yeah, I mean, I was surprised by the amount of effort that went into, different scenes and stuff just to show, Fucko as a weird guy. And it was like,
Yeah.
this is way more than I thought I was jumping into as far as a movie. So it was nice. It was really nice.
Good. Yeah. All right. Well, the score for that one is one that I listen to recreationally on a somewhat regular basis. It's in my playlist of movie soundtracks. So it's good. It's good background music. So list it
Nice.
up sometime. Okay. And then what else did you watch?
I also watched Love and Monsters.
That is by the
Yep.
person that was hired to write Rogue Squadron
No.
or Kenobi.
Was it the screenwriter or was
I
it
believe
the actual
so.
writer?
Well, one or the other.
Director Michael Matthews. I forget now. We're just tossing shit out there. None of this even matters.
Well, I was gonna say, didn't you watch it because we heard that what's his face was working on Star Wars, and you wanted to see if he was fucking up to snuff and shit?
Writer. Interesting. I'm sorry. I'm tripping over my own stuff. I swear that was the guy who was supposed to be like the lead writer for Rogue Squadron. But it says adds writer Matthew Robinson to the team. Did I just watch the wrong movie? I don't fucking know.
Well, let me look at Matthew Robinson, and we'll be able to tell you. The Invention of Lying was one of them. But yeah, Of Love and Monsters, writer.
Okay. Michael Matthews, writer.
Or
But is
Love
he
and
doing
Monsters,
Star
not
Wars stuff?
Of Love and Monsters. Yeah, Star Wars Rogue Squadron announced.
Okay, perfect.
Yep, you're correct.
So
I
not
knew that
wrong.
name sounded familiar.
Yeah, so, well, thank God I didn't watch a movie for no reason.
Well, did you enjoy it? That's a good
Yeah,
reason.
it was. It was actually surprisingly good. It was like post-apocalyptic, like satire. It felt very Fallout-esque. Plus, just like I don't know, goofy monsters. It was like Fallout plus Jurassic Park.
Okay.
Because
Radiated.
the whole thing is there's a comet or something headed towards Earth, so Earth bands together and shoots a bunch of nuclear missiles at it. Blows the fucking thing up, everybody lives, but then there's nuclear fallout from the missiles exploding, and it warps all the animals on Earth, and they all become like huge fucking monsters. So everybody's living in like fallout bunkers, and it's about this loner kid who just got a girlfriend right before Fallout. Fallout happens. They go into different bunkers, and he talks to her over the radio, and he's too like timid to go onto the surface. He's like too scared.
Got it.
So he breaks through his, shell and just risks it out there, and he's like, "What the fuck?" But he comes across, some fun stuff, some goofy
Nice.
monsters out there. So it was just a fun movie. That's all I'm saying.
Good.
I recommend it if you just want something good to watch, and that's easy to watch. So.
I think I put it on the very long list after we found out that he was working on Rogue Squadron. So
Yeah, to be honest, it was a pretty straightforward movie. There was no twist or anything. There was a small twist, but it doesn't really matter.
no Shyamalan twists.
Not really. No.
Okay.
No.
That's good. We talked about it last week. We get kind of fucking sick of those.
No, I agree. And then to wrap up the goddamn Mopar hour of fuck-arounds,
Mopar Cinema Review.
I finally watched Sonic.
Oh, what do you think about that?
Oh, man.
Not good?
It was a lot better than I expected.
Really?
A lot better. A fucking lot better. So, when you walk into something like that, you just don't know what to expect. First of all, how many games have become movies and been successful?
Not many.
0. Not a single fucking one. But they did it in such like a kid-friendly way. It was very grounded. It jumped a little bit. They had to basically Sonic's an alien. I mean, that was their way around it. He's from like another dimension. He was raised by this fucking owl. She dies and gives him some coins. It's very kid built story. But basically the coins that he gets allows him to go to another dimension so he can stay safe. Because a lot of people are after him because he has that power. He can go fucking fast. So he has to leave his original home after his mentor owl dies, and she says, just run, Sonic, and be safe. He ends up on Earth. He hides out for a while. Robotnik is a thing. It's fun.
Okay.
But
Run,
all
Sonic,
that
run.
all that to say, Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik did not rub me the wrong way. Surprisingly, I expected it to be somewhat cringy for him to overdo the Jim Carrey stuff, stuff fucking freaking out, and it was just great. He was just so solid in it. I was very happy.
Good.
They have sprinkles of adult humor throughout, so
Of course.
you and I can be entertained as we're watching the.
It's not a kids movie unless there's some dirty jokes in there.
Dicks.
Dicks.
God, there was another point. Oh, and there's a lot of pop culture references. It's very fun if you're just paying attention, because the owl that dies at the very beginning, it's narrated by Sonic the whole time. But he calls the owl his Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh,
so
nice.
There's
I like
stuff
that.
like sprinkled throughout that if you're
pop culture
nerd, you'll they reference it.
And who is
obviously.
Sonic's voice actor?
I don't know. I couldn't put my finger on it.
Oh, it's fucking John Ralphio Saperstein. Yeah.
What is it?
It's from Parks and Rec. Sorry, Parks and Rec fans will know John Ralphio. His name is Ben Schwartz. But he's in Parks and Rec and a bunch of other shit that I can't think of off the top of my head. But he's funny. He's really funny. Oh, he was Leo in this Ninja Turtles thing?
Oh, really?
Robot Chicken, Bob's Burgers, BoJack Horseman. He's in a ton of stuff.
Oh, they're making a second Sonic the Hedgehog. Great.
Makes sense. I would imagine Dr. Robotnik did not perish at the end of the film. And he's probably going to
Dr.
come
Robotnik?
back. Yeah, he's probably going to come back and seek his revenge.
No, he didn't perish.
Okay, good. I figured they would set that up for a sequel.
There was some nice callbacks. Like, obviously, I grew up. Maybe that's what's holding the whole story together. Is it was very retro for me because I just loved Sonic. For how much I love Mario as a kid, Sonic was like the next level for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like not only can I run and jump, but I can run really fucking fast. Hell yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I grew up on that stuff. So maybe that's, I was watching all the callbacks and how Sonic would attack, per se, Dr. Robotnik, and I was like, there it is. Knew he was going to do that.
Everyone loves a good Easter egg, man.
Yeah, yeah. And the his buddy, his human buddy, it's a cop.
Cyclops.
But he's great. I forget the guy's name.
Cyclops.
Tom or James Marston?
Yeah.
Cyclops.
Yeah, he's Cyclops in X-Men.
God.
The first
just
three,
blew
the
my
99,
mind.
2000, whatever era X-Men.
Yeah.
Him and Wolverine are getting grumpy about fighting over Jean Grey's body.
What else is he in? Oh, he's in Hairspray. For all the things that I know him from.
I didn't want to say that because I didn't know if you had seen it, but what's his name? Corky
Romano? I don't know. Corny Collins?
Romano, yeah.
Corny Collins.
Corny Collins, thank you.
That's weird because I did not. Yeah, I wouldn't have called out X-Men. I would have been like, who is he in X-Men? But Corny Collins show for sure.
Can't tell because he's got the visor on.
He's a superhero in that one. But he plays his cop buddy, and it's almost like a buddy film.
Yeah.
One guy's a cop human, the other's a alien hedgehog. So fuck it.
Those are always fun. Buddy films are always fun. Riley says, what are you talking about? What about the James Bond video games? Maybe. Well,
the games themselves are good, but yeah.
That was a movie made into a game. We were talking about video games getting made into movies.
Yeah. Like the Mario movie. Dear fuck. That's one that we need to do.
That one's loved as a cult classic.
Fanboy commentary, here we come. That'd be a great one to do.
Actually, that would be. Do I have a list of potential commentators?
That's all right at the top. The list starts there.
The list. Yep, it begins.
It begins. Number one.
All right. New note. Fanboy commentary. Someone also said Indiana Jones in the chat at some point.
Oh, I guess that's decently solid. I think there are some pretty good Indiana Jones games out there. Nothing new, I don't think.
Sorry, I was talking about fanboy commentary options.
Oh, that's not funny enough.
Is what he meant. I have only seen the first one, and I would hate to watch The whole point about fanboy commentary is like, we have to either know it really, really well, or it's got to be like kind of bad, so we can make fun of it.
It's got to be bad or goofy enough.
I would not want to watch Indiana Jones, which is most revered, for the first time, and then try to be shitting on it when I don't really need to.
It's a heavier movie than you would expect, too. I rewatched it recently. I still need to like sit down and like view it. But I threw it on one time, and I was like, oh, shit, this is a lot heavier than I originally thought. I'm going to have to like start this another day. So.
Die another day.
So
cool. Well, I'm glad you got some movies knocked off the list. That's more than I did. I did watch Loki.
Oh, you finished it?
I finished all of Loki.
Well, it's more than I did.
Well, you watched 4 movies. I guess. Loki's
and I watched the hot
longer.
chick. I watched the hot chick with
Rob Schneider.
Yeah, I'm not even joking. We watched
I've never
that.
seen that one.
It was pretty good. Rob Schneider had his time, and that's like almost peak Rob Schneider. He was a goof in that one.
I remember my dad was obsessed. After The Waterboy came out, you hear him say, "You can do it," and then you just think he's the funniest guy. And then he was in like 40 movies right after that.
Yeah,
he's like, "All right, we gotta just run off of this, one joke from The Waterboy. Let's do it." And Deuce Bigalow and the hot chick. I never saw the hot chick though.
Yeah, he trades bodies with the Notebook girl, the girl from the Notebook.
Oh yeah, Dr.
And that's basically what happens. She becomes him who's a thief and he becomes her who's just, you know, a teenage girl. So it
Yeah.
gets weird. Very 90s, very fun. Whatever. It was fun.
That's funny. Well, I'm glad you watched that. Those are fun every once in a while. Sometimes I go back through HBO and I'm just like, I just want something dumb that I haven't seen in like 15 years.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find. Sometimes, like, you go to the HBO comedy section and just scroll through the movies. There's like too many
trash.
movies on there, and there's like 5 good ones, and I've seen.
Yeah,
them.
it's 5 good ones that I've seen, over and over.
Yeah.
See, that's the pit that I hit like 6 months ago. I kept saying like I need a comedy that I haven't seen in a while, and that's where like the Blues Brothers kind of itch the scritch.
Ooh.
That was a good one that I hadn't seen for a while and was, you know, darker and fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, you know, I'm still on that seam. I'm trying to find more stuff like that, but they're kind of few and far between. Stripes is another decent one that's back in the day that's a little goofy.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever seen Stripes, actually.
It's a pretty good one.
There's
Scrooge.
a YouTuber that I watch, and he has a airplane and a Caddyshack poster behind him, and every time I see it, I'm just like, I need to rewatch Caddyshack.
Yeah, I do
That's been in
once
my
a
head.
week. But I haven't seen Airplane in a minute, and I need to watch that one. That's probably a good one to watch.
Yeah, Airplane and Naked Gun have been a while since I've
Jeez,
seen those
Naked
shits.
Guns.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, there was a time for those. Leslie
That
Nielsen.
time has passed.
Yeah, it has. Those movies do not hold up well, but it'd still be fun to just go back and goof around for an hour and a half. You know, it'd be another one is Major League is a great movie from the 90s. That one holds up a little better.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in equally
Has
long. Yes.
has Steve's podcast done
I
Major
think
League?
Major League was 89.
Oh fuck, that sucks.
But he did start a second show. It's all about the Cleveland Indians, and they named the show after Major League.
oh, nice.
So, yeah, the California Penal League is what it's called. If I still paid attention to baseball, I would listen to it, but I don't. Sorry, Steve. But if you like baseball, you should listen to it. I think it's strictly about Cleveland baseball, though.
Yeah, that sucks.
Go listen to this new podcast. It sucks.
No, Cleveland baseball sucks. Not their podcast.
Well, that gives them something to talk about.
Exactly. No, it's very true. It's the same thing with Star Wars.
Exactly. If everything was good, we wouldn't have a podcast about Star Wars. We would just enjoy the content and go to sleep.
Who's your least favorite Star Wars character?
Mission.
Ooh, I actually don't mind her.
Only because I had KOTOR on the brain. That one popped out. It's hard to say. Least favorite has two
And it
different
can't be a
meanings to
background
me.
character. They have to have some lines, but
Well, I was gonna say one like most annoying. I think obviously is Jar Jar.
really,
I kind of throw C-3PO in there as most annoying, but there's also like characters that I just think are stupid and pointless and shouldn't be on the screen. Like Mission's not meant to be annoying like C-3PO is. She's just
Right.
an annoying dumb character.
no, I agree.
You know what I mean? Sorry, voice actor for Mission.
Karth is annoying.
Yeah, Karth is fucking annoying. Everyone, world renowned, everyone knows Karth is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Well, let me think about it for a second. Who's yours? Least favorite Star Wars character?
Man, Palpatine.
They've
'Cause
ruined Palpatine for us.
No
Yeah.
matter what you say, it's probably a clone of Palpatine or someone who Palpatine created, or you know, played shuffleboard with Palpatine on Wednesdays.
I wish Palpatine
It's always him. It's always been him.
I wish he could just retire and relax. Can you imagine a Sith carnival cruise? And it's just Palpatine and Plagueis playing shuffleboard and getting Bloody Marys and stuff.
Yeah.
I would probably honestly say that stupid old Jedi from the Thrawn trilogy. Jorah Sabaoth or whatever his name is.
Sabaoth.
Sabaoth. Yeah, he's annoying as hell. Can't say he's annoying, but just least favorite. I'm just like, I'm not interested in this whatsoever. I think I would
Yeah.
say that.
I don't know. You know what?
I don't know. Will you tell me what?
He's not going to be my least favorite, but I'm going to throw a very questionable one out there.
Honorable mention.
This is going to stir some shit.
Let's do it.
I almost don't even want to say it because I know people are gonna be pissed.
Was there an H? You almost said Poe?
Lando.
Oh! Those are shots fired, huh?
I just don't think he adds anything. Now, with that said, I do... Well...
Come on, chat, rise up.
You know, I was going to say I think he does add something in Solo, but it's the same character. It's not like there is any character building in Solo. It's the same dude. He's just younger. He's still a cocky prick. We were friends. And then...
More of us.
I hate saying that because he's not my least favorite, but it is definitely an honorable mention. I wish there was more. I wish there was more.
Well, I guess he is very much at least in Empire, his whole point of being introduced is like Han has a shady past. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the point, you know what I mean? And they develop that a little bit. But yeah, you are right. In Solo, I mean, it's just Han's getting involved with some gambler smuggler guy, and then he disappears for 20 years, and then they meet back up at Cloud City.
It's weird. It's just weird to me. I wish there was some, and he felt very forced in the sequels.
Yep.
I
was going to say that's probably the most. You were complaining about Mando season 2 a little bit back when that first came out, but I think the most egregious use of fan service is Lando in Episode 9.
It was a swing and a miss for me. I just don't. It could have been anybody, and it was like Billy D. Williams showed up on set, and they were like, "Oh, we're filming this. Just get over here. Just say these few lines. We'll be good." Yeah, throw that carpet on. We'll put you some jewels, and you'll show up at the celebration.
I'm surprised that outfit still fit from when he was like 20.
Ah, man, I really wish I didn't have to say that, guys.
It's okay.
Sorry. Riley's pissed.
It's okay. A lot of people will be. He's a beloved character.
Yeah, but why?
Because he's cool, man. Some characters are just cool. It doesn't matter what their backstory is. You just like them.
Han Solo's cool. Chewbacca's cool.
Yeah, Chewbacca's cool. He doesn't.
Lando is borderline useless.
Well, he does betray everyone on the good side at first.
He fucks around,
and then he becomes a general.
Oh, you fucked us over?
I'm sure we've talked about that before. It's just like,
yeah, shots fired. That's fine. That's fine, guys.
How did his paperwork get through the rebellion? Did they do a background check on Lando before they made him a general?
No, they were friends. Like, it would have been... Like you said, in Solo, we saw young Solo have a questionable past. He overcame some hurdles, grew as a character, learned a couple lessons along the way. Fine. Yeah. Lando starts off with a brand new goddamn ship with nice things and ends with a broken ship, but still is fine.
No droid lover anymore.
Yeah, I don't.
And then Han takes his ship too.
I almost like L3 or L4 or L2 or whatever her name is. Yeah. I like her better than Lando. At least she's doing stuff. I don't know. She has a cause. Lando does not have a cause. In the entire Star Wars universe, Lando has no cause.
Well, himself is the cause. Maybe that's the point.
I get it, but we already have that character. His name's Han Solo.
But that's not... See, that's what Han wants you to think, but that's not actually Han's character.
Yeah. No, I'm fine with it. You guys can be pissed. Your least favorite person in Star Wars is Mopar now. Fuck him.
True. He's definitely in Star Wars. So that's your honorable mention. Is that your actual choice?
No, Karth is my actual. Fuck Karth. I truly despise. I don't like Karth at all. I really, really don't. No. And even though he's in one of my favorite, well, arguably my favorite game of all time, it's like I never have him with me. Never. Not once. I don't give a shit. His voice, I know the voice actor's been
he's
used
a great
over
voice
and over,
actor.
But I just don't, he doesn't fit. I don't want him.
If Karth was written to be an annoying prick, you nailed it.
That's true.
And I know he was in Mass Effect as well. I mean, he's Caden, who I think I have a grudge against just because I hate Karth.
I despise as well. I always kill him off.
And Ashley, then you got to pick between him and Ashley. It's like, how are you gonna turn that booty down?
I know.
Ashley's coming along.
assets come along.
Oh man. Yeah, I'll say Joris Sabaoth from whatever you call it. Heir to the Empire. Yeah. Fuck that guy. I don't like him. All right. I guess we should talk about this whole KOTOR thing.
I guess so. Go ahead.
Well, if you're a Star Wars fan and you're listening to the show, chances are you already know what we're talking about. But KOTOR was teased at a recent PlayStation event. KOTOR Remake. And it actually is officially called the Knights of the Old Republic Remake.
I have so many questions.
I don't like that name. Remake just sounds so flippant.
Oh, I agree. We redid it. My question is, what's the difference between a remaster and a remake? Because remake makes it sound like you're starting from square one.
They are.
So they're not, like, updating. We're not getting a pod racer.
Correct.
Thank fuck.
Yeah, remaster is like they kind of enhance it as much as they can to make it will output in like 1080p, and they enhance some of the mechanics or something like that. But remake is, now I don't know the details. I want to say that they're keeping like the voice acting and like the story and like those sound files and everything, but they are kind of rebuilding the game from the ground up, is what I understand.
So it's going to be the exact same game. It's just going to be brand new.
Well,
that sounds dumb, but you know.
I guess it's the exact same game that you know and love, but it's just brand fucking new again. I don't know if we know those specifics.
You know what I'm very interested in? I mean, we saw a glimpse of Revan, and that's what we all needed. But my God, when Malik shows up on screen, I'm fucking hyped.
Yeah.
Also, what's Bastila gonna wear? That's what I really need.
And how many outfit choices is she gonna have? That's the real question. Is BioWare working on Bastila's
How big are the
model?
goggles and how much?
Yeah, don't take out all the fun stuff. Don't take out like the stupid inspector goggles.
Yeah.
That's like some of the, plus 10 dexterity. That's the best attachments you can get in the game. Let's see here. It says that the remake is a tremendous undertaking and encompasses almost every aspect of the original game. And they're still in early development. So this is essentially what we got for Elder Scrolls 6. It's like, this is happening. We'll see you in like 3 years.
Yeah.
It's going to be a minute.
Speaking of 3 years, this is a random tangent, but Bob Iger.
You always say Igor.
Eyesore mentioned that they were working on casting Andor 3 years ago, almost to the month.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are we still sitting here without it?
I know, we're going to start complaining again. The KOTOR remake announcement, that was a fun birthday gift that happened on my birthday last week, so that was nice. I hate to say that my initial reaction in our group chat was,
Of course.
now, KOTOR is, with the exception of the Phantom Menace, well, we've talked about it before. Phantom Menace got me into Star Wars. KOTOR got me fucking addicted. So I'm not going to say no. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to play it on day one. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I just am bummed that they rebranded Lucasfilm Games, and they're like, hey, we're going to be bringing all this new stuff to you, and we have nothing except for ports and remakes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the fact that it's getting remade from the ground up, I'm sure it's going to be beautiful.
Sure.
It's on next gen. I'm sure it's going to look amazing. But, I have played KOTOR 100 times. Mm-hmm. I want to experience the magic of something brand new for the first time.
Doesn't it feel like, I mean, you said it perfectly there. That's what we've been harping on. And we're not going to sit here and shit like that on this episode, but
I might a little bit.
It is, it's like, thank you, that's what we wanted. Don't fucking listen to me. This is the last time this better happen.
Yeah, I feel like it's like they're 3 years behind.
Yeah.
Not just in producing things, but
Speaking
the 3 years
of
behind.
3 years, Bob Igor.
Igor. So it just reminds me of like Igor from Frankenstein. Or
Young
whatever.
Frankenstein.
Yeah. I feel like they're 3 years behind the fan voice. it's like 3 years ago, people were like, I don't like the Disney sequels. Let's just do KOTOR again because we love that. And then that just kind of fizzled a little bit, I feel, because Disney didn't announce anything. And now all of a sudden they're remaking KOTOR. But for me and you, at this point, I'm like, I want something brand new again. I don't want to necessarily go back. I will, of course, but now I'm onto something now. So 3 years from now, we're going to get brand new Star Wars content, finally.
Yeah, I mean, if I was running Disney from square one, I would have done the sequels, 7, 8, and 9. You just have to. You have to close out the Skywalker saga. That's fine. But I would have started, like you said, with a KOTOR. Let's start a new. Let's finish the trilogy everybody wants to see finished, regardless of how you felt it turned out. But let's also like redesign something and then have a writing team just write stories, build a whole universe while we're working on this shit.
Yeah.
So that way, once it comes out, then we're launching Cassian and doing this other stuff and doing Rogue One and that sort of thing. Which we've got just a little sprinkle of that with Solo and Rogue One. But again, it's so hard tied into everything we've already known. I want what you want is just start fresh. Which that's why something like Fallen Order worked so well, because it was new but familiar.
Right.
All at the same time, and it worked so well. It's just, that game style is,
Yeah.
you play it once and you're done. It's okay, that was fun. It was a great game. I'll sit here and argue it was a great game.
Yep.
But never again.
So hopefully
maybe
they fix that
once.
with 2.
Maybe once. I'll play it again.
So if you go back to 2003 and think about why KOTOR was such a big success in the first place, it's because that was something brand new but in familiar territory. Like, you don't have the Empire, but you do have the Sith Empire. You have troopers, you have starships, you have Jedi, the Force, everything that you know from Star Wars, but with basically like a brand new skin, new era, new characters, new stories. So, like, that's, I think, the next big thing that Star Wars is going to be able to do. It has to be something like that. It has to be brand new, hitting the reset button.
Well, so
That's why we love KOTOR. And
The
now you're
issue
bringing that
is-
back. Like, you got to do both. Like, give me a remaster and then also make something totally brand new.
the stance that we're completely missing is those that have not played KOTOR. I mean, it's hard to go back and love the game from 2003 if you are a modern gamer. And I understand that completely, because even myself loving the game, sometimes I go back and I'm like, Jesus, this is fucking
do it.
choppy.
I know.
It's hard. So, I mean, from a certain point of view, I mean, they're doing what they need to, redoing a classic, doing it the right way. They're going to get the old KOTOR fans and then start some brand new KOTOR fans. Now, where this might go is if this is widely received, in good faith, that they'll take this and run with it and do other things, because now they have KOTOR, brand new KOTOR fans.
Right. I guess my only rebuttal to that would be that people that haven't played KOTOR aren't asking for this.
But
It's
it's
just
what
everyone
they need.
that
it's
has-
what they need.
To glue everything together. I hope so. Again,
I mean,
it's
it's
I
one
feel
of
like
those
they
things,
have to.
If someone told me to play KOTOR as like let's just say a 20-year-old right now, I'd start it up and be like, what
Right.
am I even fucking playing right now?
Well, I mean, that goes for any game released in 2003. It's been 18 years. You know what happens? I bet we got to wait 2 more years. It comes out on the 20th anniversary. Guarantee it. 2023. Guarantee it.
Yeah. Isn't that fucked too?
Yep.
20 years of KOTOR, and
I know.
oh my god,
It's crazy. Well, like I said, I just feel
fucking bananas. That's fucking
KOTOR was a huge hit. And it was also... It was kind of a risk. I mean, not really. It's a video game, so it's not like they were putting the entire, film franchise of Star Wars on the line. But it was something totally brand new. And if you think of the gameplay, I mean, it's D&D mechanics.
Yep.
Which I like from a certain point of view, but it is a little, it's a little clunky. They're like, we're just basically making a game about dice rolling with a really good story.
Sure.
I just want them to
They rolled the dice with that.
I just want them to roll the fucking dice.
Which they literally did that entire game.
I know.
Miss. You didn't get the door, bitch.
That's why it's Kerner's favorite game. Ding. That's just what I want them to do. I don't know. And I've never read comics again, like we always talk about. Maybe that's why I'm so enthralled with Marvels, because I am I'm learning Thor's backstory and Loki's and Iron Man's and Captain America's for the first time, so it is all brand new, even though the characters have been around for a while.
But that's what we could have in Star Wars. We just haven't had the opportunity to have brand new characters like that. That's the shitty thing about the sequels. It's brand new characters, but it's still the Skywalker story, and Palpatine's still here, and Leia's, and then, oh my god, they're all still Lando. Woohoo! You know, like, dude, was this story even necessary? I hate to even say that. I felt like it was just, it was a proverbial close the door. Like, we have to close the door of this Skywalker saga, so let's do it.
Yeah.
We'll start new characters, but they won't really fucking matter. Not really.
Well, think of the next thing that we're getting. It's Rogue Squadron. And I know that's our name,
which, again,
too.
I want, but...
And I'm going to see it, but that's based on books that came out in, like, 92.
See, I feel like that is an opportunity, especially for me, because I'm not a fan... I haven't read through those books. So it might be brand new to me, and it may still live... Unfortunately, it's got to live right where it, it is in the Skywalker storyline.
Of course.
But I do think there's opportunity that, they can tell a pretty nice story depending on how they do it. And it feels new to me.
And that's what I haven't read the comics, but I feel like that's what longtime comic readers of Marvel get to experience in this MCU is because they're putting a different spin on old characters. Yeah. And they'll throw a character in and like, oh, they used to be a villain, now they're a hero. They'll change the backstory, whatever. They'll make it more interesting. It's like they could take Rogue Squadron and I don't know if they've talked about the timeline, but they could do a like Resistance Rogue Squadron, and they could trench it in the sequel, keep some of the same themes and everything, like ace pilots of the Resistance, but they could like trench it in the sequel era timeline and give us a new spin on a classic, beloved story.
I'm really dumb. I've never even thought about it. Where Rogue One, and then you get to Episode 5, Rogue 2. This is Rogue 2.
Yeah.
So maybe these will be Rogue 3, 4, and 5. Going on an adventure. What if we did get something between 5 and 6, and that's where that movie lies? That'd be kind of fun to me. I feel like that'd be a little fun.
Rogue Squadron movie.
Flyboy. As long as people are called Flyboys, and I'm a flyer.
Flyboy. I'm a flyer. Yes. Christmas 2023.
Jeez.
Directed by Patty Jenkins. New generation of starfighter pilots. Let's see. I don't think it says that what era it's going to be in. Interesting. Yeah, it doesn't say era. I mean, if it's Rogue Squadron, I assume it has to be original trilogy. But like I said, it would be interesting to just put that totally different spin on it. Anyways.
I don't know.
Here we are again, shitting.
I hate it. I'm sorry, guys. Anyways.
This is probably...
How good was Jurassic Park when it came out?
It was really good. I have
fucking groundbreaking.
Do you ever have, like, memories from childhood that are just, like, entrenched in concrete in your brain? You can, like, recall it every single moment of it? You don't? You don't remember anything?
I don't recall having memories.
I have a very vivid moment of watching Jurassic Park 2 for the first time. Pizza and wings for dinner, family night, movie night, HBO, Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World. And I just remember loving that movie. And to this day, I think I like 2 more than 1 just because of that one night when I was like 12 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Younger than that. When did the second one come out? Like 99?
I don't know.
98?
The first one was like 93.
Dude, game changer, right?
It really was. That's actually on my list that I asked you to create.
97. The Lost
so
World is 1997.
So
So I was 9 years old.
Yeah, eight or 9.
Crazy. Yeah, did you want to... So let's save the Matrix trailer and Hawkeye and Loki and stuff for next week. Did you want to get into that list? Top 5. You said top 5 or 10 most personally influential films.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 9 listed.
I have 8, and I could think of 2 more quickly.
I don't need to think of any more. We can ramble through this.
I think it'd be easier for me to think of 2 more than it would for me to narrow it down to 5.
Okay. And I'm sure you
That's for
might
sure.
bring something up, and I'm like, fuck, you're right. So what I asked Commander to do is we just put together a list of the most influential movies to us. So it's not even best, worst. It's just when we saw these movies, it changed the game for us, or it pushed us into Star Wars, or we thought about movies differently, or something like that. So it kind of jumps all over the place. I've got everything from scary movies, superhero movies, to classics. So we're gonna go at it, and we did not talk about this beforehand, so this might be pretty random, but
I'm sure we'll have a bit of crossover.
yeah, I'm sure. And I'll just start with the one
Guaranteed.
that I just mentioned, Jurassic Park. I remember watching that. Actually, you know what I don't?
You know what I don't? Sure.
I don't particularly remember watching it. I remember my feeling about it. That's the best
Right.
way for me to say that. So
Well, that's
I
probably
just
how I feel about like The Lost World when I was just explaining that.
Yeah. I remember the very beginning scene like scarred into me. The shooter, and they're like trying to taser the raptor in the cage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it was, but that's like scarred into my mind so vividly. It just, and then obviously the movie itself, as a youngin', it was kind of a fucking scary movie, especially when the T-Rex, which by far is probably one of the greatest scenes to this day, is that T-Rex when it's swirling around that Ford Explorer. And
Oh
those
yeah,
kids
and
are
the kids are
sinking
stuck
in the mud.
inside. Yep, man.
Dude, it's still like
So
I could watch it.
tense.
I could watch it tonight, and I'm like, "Fuck,
Yeah.
go Billy, and run!" Like, whatever his name is, TJ,
Yeah, that and when the Velociraptors are stalking them in the kitchen, like
and the tink 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 with his nail, which they referred to at the beginning of the movie. It's like it rhymes, dude. It's so fucking weird.
like
And that's you know what that Jurassic Park also did for me was make long movies watchable. For me as a younger,
yeah, because it's
person.
like 2 hours plus, right?
I think it's over 2 hours, but I was enthralled the whole time. It just made sense to me. It was groundbreaking as far as CGI. The story was super fun and unique, and it all clicked. And just to add the cherry on top, I started getting obsessed with the NES game 2. There was a Jurassic Park NES game, or I'm sorry, Sega game. Sorry.
Okay,
Sega.
yeah, I had it for Super Nintendo. Yeah,
Yep. And which was hard as balls. Which balls
impossible.
aren't that hard, so harder than bricks. Depending on the ball.
depending on the brick.
Brigajello. No, yeah, I assume that
Good.
might be one on your list, but
It's
maybe
not surprisingly.
Okay.
But I'll dig back into the childhood for the first one.
Okay.
Batman Returns.
Okay.
4 years old. Batman Returns. I'm obsessed with Batman.
Yeah.
Batman Returns on the Super Nintendo. It was literally, if I wasn't watching Turtles, I was watching Batman just on repeat. Playing that stupid game. Couldn't beat the fucking penguin. He helicopters around on his umbrella and kicks you. I'm like, the penguin isn't even strong. He's just a fat blob. I should be
Yeah.
able to beat him in the game. Back when games were like extremely hard to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, as soon as that score plays and you see the snow falling at the very beginning, I'm like, that's the Christmas zone for me is Batman Returns. That's a Christmas movie and a superhero movie as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Man. I like it.
yeah.
And I'll just throw mine out there, which is the same goddamn thing. Batman 1989.
Nice.
It's that one. That's probably one of the earliest movies I remember watching and just connecting to. I don't like it's weird. It's weird because you and I are in such a different frame, mindset than our parents.
Mm-hmm.
So we had it's not like our parents were nerdy and introduced these things to us. We just had to catch them as they randomly came on TV or stuff like that.
Right.
So I just remember watching Batman. It was probably one of those things that possibly my dad did buy on VHS or something and watched it once, and then it just sat on the shelf for 20 years.
Right.
So it could be something like that. But yeah, I agree. Batman 1989 / I'll throw Returns in there because it's the same vein.
Mm-hmm.
I remember just being enthralled, and that was like the kick in the pants to be, hey, nerd stuff, this superhero stuff's really fucking cool.
Yep.
And that's kind of, I mean, that was the snowball. You know, it started with 1989, and you know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were a thing, and I just started snowballing from there. So
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, man. Batman 1989. Ah, what a good era. Also on the Christmas zone, the next one is Home Alone. Now, I had a hard time deciding between the first one and the second one. I think I like the second one better.
Ooh, he's too old. It's weird for me.
No, the second one.
Yeah, he's too old.
It was like the next year.
The actor is too old. He's like 3 years older.
No way.
I swear he's
Get
like
out of here.
He's like noticeably older in that one.
You're
and
noticeably
it might not be
older, bro.
obnoxiously older, but I was hard tied to the first one, so I'm so familiar with what he looked like because I remember like, hey, that kid's like me, and then when I watched the second one, I'm like, oh, that kid's older. He's older than me. I was like, it was a weird jump.
Is Macaulay Culkin aging faster than you were when you were?
Have you seen him recently? Yes, he does.
I don't know. I think they're so close, and I think I always liked the second one better because I had never been to New York when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, it's like my favorite Christmas movie, and now they're in New York, and it just looked like such a crazy place that I could never go to.
Yeah.
It was like, not exotic, but yeah, it seemed like I was like, I'm never going to see that place. It's crazy. And he gets the cheese pizza in the limo, and he fucking rigs up the goddamn toy store, and then the whole scene at the end where he's on like this 4 or 5 floor townhouse, and he has the whole thing rigged, and he's throwing bricks at him from the ceiling. So funny. From the roof, whatever. So funny.
That's a good one. I prefer the first one, but I completely get it.
And that's like Batman Returns and Home Alone are kind of hitting the same vein, and we're almost there because it's getting towards the end of the year. But it's just like order a pizza, put on the fireplace, watch Home Alone. Snow's falling outside. It's like these are huge winter vibes.
Yeah. So let's see. I got Jurassic Park. Delete that one. Batman. Delete. Okay, I'm gonna take a right turn here. Still gonna be childhood, but it's gonna be different reasons. Toy Story
Nice.
really changed the game for me as far as CGI and what they could do in animation.
Yeah.
I think not only for me, but for the entire industry, obviously.
When you were 8 years old, you were analyzing that level of animation
I
skills?
knew that it was going to be great because I approved it.
I invested when I was 8 in Pixar because I knew Steve Jobs. He knew what was going on.
I still just think Toy Story, it was like... I had watched CGI stuff, Beast Wars. I had watched stuff along those lines. But when Toy Story came out, I just felt way more invested. I felt like this is a classic. I didn't know they could do this well. I mean, we grow up watching Beast Wars and, you know, cartoons and stuff.
Yeah.
I just felt like this was the first time I watched a children's movie fully animated that I was just like, this is it. I get it.
Yeah.
This is fun, and it will never not be fun. I will still go back and watch Toy Story today, and it's such a solid, fun, goofy movie.
It is. That's such a good... Man. You talk about things aging well.
Yeah.
It's like you can look back and you can say like, okay, well, obviously, you know, like the graphics in Moana are so great compared to this, but like it doesn't really matter because they hit a point where it's like you're getting incrementally better every time, but like from Toy Story on, it's like you can tell how big of a shift that was. And obviously the story, the soundtrack, everything's great. The voice acting.
Yeah. It's weird because I feel like you could argue movies that came out after Toy Story and Toy Story's still better. Like animation-wise, story writing-wise,
I feel
like it was like 4 years ahead of its time. You know what's another one
more.
that's maybe along those lines, but just not as deep of a cut is Shrek. Shrek's another one that's like Toy Story, where when that came out, I was like, "Fuck, this is so good." Like it really made Shrek. What it did for me was it was like the next level of voice acting for me.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't know how important voice acting was until I watched something like Shrek. I was like, dude, these... And, I mean, you get little dances of it in, like, Aladdin with the genie.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, for the whole movie, Yeah.
You're making me think of ones I gotta add to my list.
I'm throwing deep cuts out there.
I had to pare this thing down because I had like
I hear you.
15.
I'm done with Toy Story. Move on. Moving on.
All right, I'm going a totally different direction for this one.
Here we
So
go.
this is a, well, it's not technically a movie. I'm going to count it. It's a concert DVD. It's a concert movie. But I got this Led Zeppelin DVD set. It's called How the West Was Won. And it's different. There's like different tracks on that DVD than there was on the CD. And I distinctly remember like getting the CD
yeah.
and trying to listen to it in my car. And I was like, this isn't the same version of Since I've Been Loving You. I need to go back to the DVD. But especially, you know, playing guitar and being like 15, 16, 17, loving classic rock, trying to learn riffs and stuff, I would just watch that Zeppelin DVD like falling asleep every night. Those tracks are embedded in my head. Like the solos in that first half of the first DVD that I've seen like 150 times, they're just fucking embedded in my brain.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
God damn.
10 years gone.
Yeah. It was incredible. And everyone knows Zeppelin, you know, one of the best bands of all time, obviously. Like, it's fine. But once you hear them perform live, I feel like it's a totally different perspective on how talented they are.
There was a mysticism that, or like a fantasy vibe that Zeppelin brought to their music and their concerts that I feel like has been lost in time. No one, and I'm sure many people could correct me, but I just don't feel like you get to that theatrical. Like, I feel like Freddie Mercury maybe had it, or Dio. Dio was very theatrical, and then it just kind of fell off in the 80s. Everything just became real and dark, and you get grunge, and now we're here. I feel like not a lot of it. We don't have
Skipped
that,
over a lot there.
but honestly,
Yeah, dark, makeup, grunge, and now it's 2021.
no, we're here. No, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like that. Yeah, it's like a sense of wonder in the music that I don't get anymore. I haven't heard anything like that since. I guess the only place I find it is maybe like weird folk metal or something weird that I listen to. Viking metal. It's like a riding into battle, and it's like I do get a little taste of that sense of wonder. I don't know. It's different. But no, I get it. I won't. This isn't one on my list, but along the same lines as Pink Floyd The Wall. I just, it really did. I should probably put it on this list because it did change what I knew about how a movie can be written off of a album.
Right.
I didn't. That's, you know, I've seen Tommy from The Who.
I haven't actually, but I heard it's pretty awful.
It is pretty bad. Yeah, I guess The Wall, Pink Floyd's The Wall, is just a fluid, like it's dark, it's evil, it's fun, it's whimsical, it's all that.
I've talked a lot of hype about The Who and Tommy in the past. Probably not much on this podcast, but just talking about music. But I will say, even though that was the first rock opera, The Wall obviously is like leaps and bounds above.
They did the movie right. That's all.
It's a higher concept, you know. Just The Wall in general, like the concept of that, it makes it transferable into a movie a lot easier than I think Tommy does.
It's also nice because it starts off when he's a kid and ends when he's a full-grown man. So they have a lot of storytelling to tell. A lot of story to tell.
Yep.
All right, moving right along. I will change directions here a little bit too. I'm gonna throw one out there that you may not, or you guys might not think that I would put on here. Anyways, Deadpool. Deadpool.
What?
Is on here for me.
I know you like Deadpool, but like influential movies? No, I would not expect that.
Deadpool it stands alone still. It's a rated R superhero film, and obviously that's how Deadpool's got to be. But they did it right.
I'm surprised you didn't say Logan though.
Logan's not funny like Deadpool is.
I know. Well,
I love Logan. I know. But Deadpool, that's what I'm saying. It was that clash of let's make it rated R, let's make it superhero, and let's make it funny as fuck. Those three things have never lived together in a movie. Ever. Superhero, dark, funny as fuck.
Yeah.
That's never happened in my mind. And when I watched Deadpool, I remember laughing out loud hard in the theaters while watching that for the first time. And it does hold up. Obviously, you lose a little bit of that initial laughter because you know what's coming. But Yeah, I put it on there just because of that. It changed my mind about how superhero film could be. So I don't know.
I'm really curious if and how they're going to roll that into the MCU now that they own Sony, or now that they own 21st Century Fox.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they stick with it. I mean, I feel like I've heard rumors that they are going to keep it rated R and they're going to find a way to do it. But yeah, I just hope they find a way to incorporate it. It'd be great to see Deadpool pop up in like Avengers 7 or whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll go on the superhero train for a second too. So I've touted my love for Marvel and the MCU a lot over the past like 5 or 6 years, basically the entire lifetime of this podcast. But the movie that got me fucking obsessed with the MCU is Civil War. I'd seen a couple. I saw Guardians. I saw Avengers. I was like, this is really cool. But Civil War, for whatever reason, is the one that like kind of pushed me over the edge and was like, all right, I'm going to go back to the beginning. I'm watching all of this shit. I'm getting obsessed. I'm looking up the fucking characters. Yeah, Captain America Civil War was what did it.
Nice.
And that was like that was like a kind of a preview to Endgame, because it's like all the heroes are coming together for this one thing. I thought it was fucking awesome.
Sure.
So yeah, that's on there.
No, I get it. Let's just keep busting through these. I could probably throw out 2 of these at the same time.
Do it, dude.
Dark Knight.
That's on mine as well.
Obvious reasons. We don't even need to say anything.
We've talked about it before. Dark Knight.
Dark Knight is on there. It was kind of the spark of the dark superhero film. I mean, Batman Begins is
it's definitely
fine,
dark.
but there's obvious reasons the Dark Knight stands out.
Joker puts you over the edge, yeah.
Well, let's move on to my next one, Joker.
Also, I was just gonna say I love how we both have 2 Batman movies on our list, and now
I
you
had
have 3.
Well, there's a reason he's my favorite superhero. Yeah, not only childhood nostalgic, they keep making them and they keep fucking knocking it out of the park. I don't need to say anything more about Joker, but that is definitely on my list as far as superhero films that aren't superhero films.
Yeah.
That's how it feels to me, and it's like, dude, they just made a Batman movie without Batman, and I fucking love it. Yes.
Nice.
Go ahead.
Good choice. Nostalgia, going back a couple years.
Go ahead.
Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Makes a lot of sense.
1990. Pizza, martial arts, New York. Let's fucking go.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about the Turtles. I think we spent a lot of last episode talking about the Turtles, so I don't need to go into detail, but yeah, I love the original TMNT movie.
Nice. I probably should have that on my list as well. No, those movies, dude. Along the same lines. Honestly, I'm just gonna show my age here. The Power Rangers movie.
Yeah,
that was one of those, and I know they're very different universes, but it was the same time in my head where I was watching TMNT, at least the movies, and I was watching the Power Ranger movie with Ivan Ooze. It's like those. I know they're probably 5-6 years apart, but
not really. The Power Rangers movie's 95.
That's
true.
Okay,
that is 5 years. But I was gonna say by the time the last Turtles movie came out, I think it was about the same.
But me as a 7-year-old, I'm watching them on the same day. Right. I didn't watch it in theaters. I watched it on VHS. When I rented it from the Blockbuster.
It was also cool to see something you watched every morning as a cartoon or like a show turn into a big production. Like I remember seeing the difference in the movie versus the TV show, and just being like, yeah, this is like next level, man.
It is crazy that it started as a comic, became a cartoon, and then animatronic greatness in the 90s, and now we're into like full 3D. You can become a turtle today if you want.
Sure. Yeah. Put some dots in my face. I'm gonna be a turtle.
I will go funny again. One that still stands up, and it's
probably on my list too.
Yeah, Superbad.
Yep.
Superbad. I think it was just perfect timing for you and me. We were going off to college.
It was the most perfect timing. It was literally the summer after we graduated. It's like, oh my God, we just talked about this like 4 weeks ago.
We were still hammered in the theater watching that. That's the hardest I had ever laughed in my life at a movie.
100%.
It was it It struck the right chords at the right time. We were the perfect age. It was about us. It literally was about. It was a movie about Commander and I. We were still hammered. So
Crazy. Yep, that's on my list as well, obviously.
So I'll go old school again. This one's gonna be a kind of out in left field, and there's 0% chance it's on your list. But Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah, it's not on my list, but I know
if it was, I
your
was gonna
love for
shut
it.
it down here.
Podcast is over. 275. That's enough.
That's a weird one that I found by myself, and I was just enthralled with like the filmmaking and the amount of effort that went into a Pee-wee movie. Tim Burton.
Well, that was same thing as Power Rangers, kind of, right? Because wasn't that a show first?
Pee-wee, he
Pee-wee's
had
Playhouse.
a series, I think, in Pee-wee's Playhouse, yeah.
Yeah.
But this was, I didn't know that. I didn't know that going in and watching Pee-wee's Big Adventure as a kid. This was the first time I had been introduced to Pee-wee.
Yeah.
But watching that film, I just remember it being abstract. That's the best. Like, it's Tim Burton, so it's already going to be goofy.
Yeah.
But, like, in my mind, to this day, I can't, like... If you told me you're going to make a Pee-wee film, I have an idea of what that's going to be, and then you say it's going to be directed by Tim Burton, and then my mind just, like, I have no fucking idea what to expect.
Right.
And still to this day, I watch that film, it's like, holy fuck. It's just so weird.
Yeah.
But that's why I love it, because it's so weird. That's all.
And it's a kids movie. But there's a lot of dark stuff in there, isn't
Oh,
there?
there's a lot of dark stuff.
Like,
There's a
isn't he like hitchhiking across the country or something?
Yeah. There's
I just remember Large Marge.
cross-dressing. There's
That's all I remember is Large Marge.
yeah. There's a lot of it's supposed to be an innocent movie, but Tim Burton makes it not innocent anymore. It's a very weird feeling for me.
Side note, Travis Dunn just said Ernest, and you're speaking my language, man. I remember watching the fuck out of those back in the day. My dad was obsessed with all these weird comedies. Like, he would always be watching Three Stooges, and he loved Ernest. All those fucking Rob Schneider movies, just random. But yeah, I did watch Ernest back in the day. Okay, Wet Hot American Summer.
It's a good one.
For me, it's another comedy. And that was like very early into me being at college that I saw that for the first time. So I feel like that movie and introducing it to everybody, like all my friends, and like watching it over and over again and quoting it, that kind of like defined a couple years of college. So that one was big. And I don't know, I quote that a lot. So like, as far as comedy movies go, it was big on my list. And also, that was a kickoff movie for a lot of those actors. Paul Rudd, Bradley Cooper, Amy Poehler, like so many people got their first big movie with Wet Hot American Summer.
Yeah. And if you guys haven't seen that, 100%. If you listen to this show, you should absolutely watch that movie because it's
so
great.
Funny.
It's so funny.
love it.
It's so well written, and the actors and the characters they play, it's so perfect. It's so good. No, it's a good one. I will go scary for the first time, and I'll just throw out The Shining.
Nice.
Now, to be honest, The Shining is my favorite scary movie, but I considered putting The Exorcist on there because The Exorcist really jolted me a little more. Shining's like disturbing. The Exorcist was like scarier to me, but they're both scary films, but they do different things for me. But The Shining, I think, holds up a lot better. Obviously, you try to be scary in the 70s, and The Exorcist just doesn't hold up quite as well.
Right.
Actually, it's gotten to the point where it's getting so old, it's creepy again. Because you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
the filmmaking's so bad, you're like, is this supposed to be this bad? Like, what is this? But yeah, I mean, The Shining, it's one of those things again. Like, Jack Nicholson.
Not the
I
golfer.
had seen him as the Joker. I had seen him in random stuff in the 90s. And then I watched The Shining. Obviously, I wasn't introduced to it in the 70s. Fucking asshole. Shut it.
You were -11.
But I watched The Shining. I'm like, oh, I didn't know Jack Nicholson could do that. I didn't know a slow-moving film can keep me enthralled.
Right.
Like, it's so weird. It's such a long fucking film, and almost nothing happens the entire time, but you're still like, oh my god, what is this? What is happening? And how do they do that? Like, how the fuck? It's so good. It's so good. That's all I'll say. I love it.
It is good. I have some honorable mentions. I know we have 2 more to go, but as you were explaining The Shining, I was like, no horror movies made the cut for me, unfortunately.
Do you have an honorable mention? You're saying?
Yeah, we'll get to them at the end.
As
But
far as
I was
horror?
just yeah,
Horror?
but I was just like, I was surprised I didn't like let any of those like be in the final. The next one, I don't know if you've ever actually seen. It's called I Heart Huckabees, and it's a existential comedy.
Okay.
It's really weird. It's really off the wall. Mark Wahlberg, Lily Tomlin, Dustin Hoffman, Jason Schwartzman. It's really funny, and it's like these two detectives that are like philosophers. They like talk about existentialism, and people come to them and they're like, my life is awful, I need you to investigate. And they follow him around and like analyze what he's doing and be like, well, the way you ate cereal this morning is going to define your entire reality. Just really fucking weird stuff.
Yeah.
But I watched that one so much. Oh yeah, Jude Law is in it as well. It's hilarious. I love it. I watch it. I probably rewatch it like once a year. Get a good dose of existentialism and go along my way. But that's definitely on the list. That was another defining college film for me, for sure.
So I only have one left, but I will throw out a couple honorable mentions as Travis Dunn's throwing out some good ones for his early years. He says Cannonball, Smoking the Bandit, Police Academies, Beverly Hills Cop, Revenge of the Nerds, Goonies, Caddyshack, a lot of that stuff. Austin Powers is a great one that holds up surprisingly well. Along those same lines, I will throw out Weird Science. That was definitely a film that I have been looking to go back and rewatch, and I can't find it. I haven't been able to find it. I don't think it's on Xbox or anything that I can download it. But Weird Science is a great one. That's surprisingly dark. There's some... It has the underage guys going to like a bar with this stripper lady Lisa, and it's a fun one. It's a really fun one. I said I was going to throw out a couple of others, but I guess I'll just say Caddyshack. It's got to be up there somewhere too.
Nice.
But it didn't particularly make this list. All right, my last one is going to be obvious to you. At least it's CKY.
The first, which one?
I just put CKY. If I had to pick one,
Yeah, all of them. Yeah, that's fair. All of them's fair. It's okay.
if I had to pick one, CKY 3. I think that's the one with 3 random ox.
Yes. Yes, that's it. That's correct.
So I think I'd have to pick that one. I think that one's got my favorite music on it too. Because I feel like the first couple they bounced around between Du Hast and other random music. CKY 3, I feel like it is CKY and the Bloodhound Gang, and then it's just Bam and his buddies.
Yep.
So they kind of really finalized their touch on that. But the CKY movies, if you guys aren't familiar, it's just early Jackass before they got popular or famous. So it's funnier to me. So innocence and more shit, more actual fecal matter.
Oh, they're
is
guilty of
involved.
plenty.
Ooh,
Last
there's
one.
a good one. Guilty as charged.
Damn it, man. There's too many movies. I can't pick 10, man. Last on my list, again, we're talking influential, like kind of change the course or how I perceive movies and things. I had to put a Star Wars movie on here. Last one is Phantom Menace.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
I was trying to decide between Empire and Phantom Menace because, as I mentioned, my earliest exposure to Star Wars was renting Phantom Menace from the library on VHS and watching the Hoth battle and then turning it off. But I think Phantom Menace is a little more profound as far as like, I liked Star Wars. I went to the movie theater to see that. I immediately went to Walmart and got Legos from the Phantom Menace movie. And that kind of, pushed me into Star Wars. And then I met you, stupid fuckers, and we started playing the card game. And like, it was a snowball from there. So episode 1 is on my list.
Does it say something about me that I don't have a Star Wars film on there?
Not really. I mean, part of me was like, we always talk about Star Wars. That's obvious. Let me get 10 other ones. But, I could not put one on there.
It's weird. It's weird for me to think like most influential. It's like Star Wars is on there somewhere. As a whole, absolutely. But like if I had to pick one movie to say this changed my view of how movies are, I don't think I would pick a Star Wars film.
Or influential into like what interests you and like what kind of pop culture you're into. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think like along the same vein, my nerdiness was pre-built with the TMNTs and the Batmans and all that stuff had already come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I see what you mean. Like if somebody asked me, pick your 3 favorite movies of all time, I probably wouldn't put a single Star Wars movie in that
Sure.
list. It's like Star Wars as a whole. And I don't even know if I would put like a MCU movie in that list. It would be MCU as a whole is something that I enjoy.
That's like what's your 5 favorite songs? You wouldn't pick a Metallica song, but if you say what's one of your favorite albums of all time, it'd be a Metallica.
Yes.
It'd probably be up there. No, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't be able to like pick apart one song or one movie and have it stand alone and be like, that one's my favorite movie of all time. Because it is. It's a longer story.
And a lot of the things I put on my list is like the movie tied to the experience of seeing it or like the first moment that you see it. So there's a couple that didn't make the list. Honorable mentions that I'll just run through. Out Cold. I've probably watched that movie more than any other movie for some reason.
Strong.
You had to make cuts at some point. UHF. I still remember the moment that we got that VHS. Where like we'd heard about the movie and we finally found it like at a random. I think we were camping and like in town there was a video rental store and like we saw it and we're like we have to buy this. And then
You
we
know what
watched
other
it when
film we
got
bought
home.
that day?
Ace Ventura 2.
Yeah. which would be on that list.
Yeah, exactly. Saw and House of a Thousand Corpses are the 2 horror movies that I had that didn't quite make the cut. But I remember watching the first Saw a lot.
That's one that just, I was thinking, would that hold up? Because the big twist at the end, like you already know. So like, would I waste my time? I say that, waste my time, but would I? Would I waste my time watching that movie just for a thing that I know is already going to happen? Is the rest of the film that good, I guess?
I think there's more there than just the twist, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I suppose, but...
And now here's the one that was the hardest for me to take off that list, and that's Terminator 2.
Yeah.
It was really hard for me to remove that from the list, but, I had to make room for some things. But yeah, pivotal in my early days. I remember being... Well, I don't remember being 3. Obviously, my dad told me about this after the fact, but I was 3, and my dad was watching that R-rated movie, and my mom was yelling at him, and he was like, he knows where the swear words are. He covers his ears. It's fine.
Is that right?
Earmuffs, man.
Travis Dunn throws out some 90s ones that are influential. Total Recall, Hackers, Independence Day, The Mighty Ducks, and Hook. Hook's a good one for me.
Independence Day's good.
I rewatched Independence Day. I finally bought it on my Xbox. I don't want to say it didn't hold up, but it was a tick under. I was like, oh, okay. Hook I rewatched, and I'm like, dude, this is still fucking great.
Yeah.
I'm hooked.
I'm going to put that on my list.
That's what's called a joke.
Even though I've seen it, I'm putting it on my list because I haven't seen it in a long time. Okay, that was fun.
Hook inspired me to always open my window to strangers. I can't talk to you. You're a stranger.
Stranger danger. That was fun, man. The first 2 that we talked about were Christmas oriented, so it's just getting me more and more excited for the end of the year. I love Christmas.
Yeah.
And the Hawkeye trailer, I know you haven't seen it yet, but that's supposed to take place at Christmas, so there was a Christmas tune in the trailer. So I'm just like, I know it's September, but like, let's go, man. Christmas.
Yeah, fucking hurry it up. One thing that my in-laws not introduced me, but it's kind of a staple for them is watching Scrooged, and that movie's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
I never really appreciated it until more recently in my life. And dude, he's so good. He's so good.
I love it.
That bitch hit me with a toaster. Like, I love it.
We'll have to do a full. We'll have to redo this for Christmas films specifically, closer towards the end of the year.
We'll do top 20 Christmas films.
Because,
Christmas Vacation, step 1.
20.
True Lies.
Die Hard.
I don't think True Lies even happens at.
I think you meant to say Die Hard.
I know, I meant True Lies, actually. I wanted to buy that one not too long ago, too, and I couldn't find it.
Oh, boy.
Arnold. Yeah, good. Sometimes it's just nice. I know we talk retro all the time, but sometimes it's nice to specify on some good ones there. We had some overlap.
Why are we all here? Just to think back about when life was better.
Yeah.
So.
Don't look to the future. Always look back.
Always. Don't change. That's bad. Hunker down in your ways and only play games that were made in 2003 and watch movies that were made in 1995.
Ooh, Ryan Dunn. Wow, I'm CKY on the mind here.
Ryan Dunn.
Travis said, "Do your favorite Halloween and or Christmas."
That's true.
movies."
Yeah, we can do horror movies kind of leading up to Halloween. I know that this is third plug for Revenge of the 90s, but I know they always do a whole October run. I think they double up on episodes and they do just as many horror movies as they can. So yeah, that'll give me some ideas, and we'll revisit this closer to Halloween. And
Yeah, if
and-
you guys
and
have
lay it
any
down.
suggestions too, of course I'm down for rewatching all the horror films that I love. But yeah, maybe send us some top fives that you may or may not want us to watch,
and we will not watch them.
and we will
Thank you.
consider it.
Goodbye.
But yeah, I mean, there's the obvious ones that we've watched. We've talked about them.
Yeah.
So maybe something outside of that realm that you're like, dude, you guys haven't seen this, do it. I actually haven't seen like stuff like The Strangers or Sleepy Hollow or
Oh, I love Sleepy Hollow, dude.
I haven't seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I haven't seen.
That's another Tim Burton one, is Sleepy Hollow.
Is it really? Oh,
Yeah,
I'm on
Tim
board.
Burton with Johnny Depp. Fucking Palpatine's in it for a little bit.
Johnny Depp's in. Is that the one where he's a writer in the attic?
He's
Sleepy Hollow.
There is a lot of writing and a lot of attic stuff going on. Yes,
Maybe
you're
I
not
have
wrong.
seen it.
He's a scientist, I think, from New York, and he goes up to Sleepy Hollow to figure out. It's one where Christopher Walken is the headless horseman, and he has the stupid teeth. There's the beginning shot where he's like killing people in the woods, and he becomes a headless horseman. And then the stunt double, who's actually doing all the action, is Ray Park. Yeah, we talked about that last Halloween, I think. But we're going to talk about it again. And I'm going to talk about Dracula. I always talk about Dracula with Gary Oldman. Fucking love it.
Is there a good Dracula?
There's a few kind of dated moments in it. Keanu's a little stiff in that one. He's trying to be British, so that's always just weird.
Is it
But in
called
general, yeah, it's just called Dracula. I think it's like 92 or something.
2000.
It's Francis Ford Coppola. But, all in all, I love that fucking movie.
1992.
Shinobi, stop being inspired by things.
I'm inspiring you to be uninspired.
I'm inspiring you to end this podcast.
Okay, that's it.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
You got it.
Mopar, you look like you have something on your mind. Do you want to talk about it?
What do you mean?
You got it. Whatever.
Done.
Bye.
I'm fucking done. I'm looking at Dracula.
I was quoting Dracula. Oh, man. Shinobi, make more memes about us.
Rogue Squad.
Yes. I hope we inspire you to do something with your life. Turn this off.
Be better than us. Be better humans.
Please.
Please, for the love of God.
All right. I
Nosferatu.
suppose that'll do it.
I need to watch Nosferatu. That's a good one.
I would like